Alrighty, welcome back guys to another gun build in Modern Warfare 2, and today I'm going to be looking at a gun that I hardly even went over, and I want to say now, two of these battle rifles are now my favorite guns in the entire game, and I'm going to be talking about why. They've been buffed so many freaking times in just about every single update. The F-Tank Recon got a little bit more love, but across every single update, just constantly, but the SO14 is a gun that just got a bunch of things hitting it all at once. For buffs in the more recent patch. Increases damage a little bit over time, or a little bit more, so it's more effective in Warzone, and for larger health pools when it comes above to like 100 health. That's actually really interesting that I want to go over this. I actually have already a preset build if you would just want to go ahead and head towards this. Um, this is the best weapon when it comes to killing anything fairly effectively. Like I'm not lying. It's definitely not the fastest killing gun in the game when it comes to like just normal infantry, like killing other players, and it's definitely not the fastest when it comes to handling. Actually, I say that it can absolutely be now. It had several buffs to where obviously, like I said, increasing a little bit extra damage. It doesn't really have a real effect on people, which is normal 100 health in multiplayer, but it does more so in DMZ and Warzone for its intended purpose. But I want to go over this. So if you guys have watched any of the other YouTubers or content creators for Call of Duty, like Exclusive Ace or probably any others that touched on this gun is the best anti-material rifle in the entire game. Okay, so obviously, all jokes aside for like its actual, like, or not, like joking a little bit for that, obviously it's not an anti-material rifle, it's only shooting, let me see like what the actual rounds are. It's only shooting 7.62, but it has such a weird damage output. So the battle rifles are like this weird blend between a normal assault rifle, where assault rifle handling might be a little bit slower, but it's also a weird, like hard-hitting kind of gun that's like a Martian rifle. It's a lot more limited when it comes to a one-shot headshot range or any kind of like real hard-hitting power at longer ranges, so it kind of fits in a weird category. The best example of me kind of showing you like a precursor to these type of guns is like the Odin back in Modern Warfare, before that really cool looking Goliath of a gun, and or the FAL and stuff like that. Just kind of real broken guns. The FAL was more so like that, and that's the FAL here, or the Lockman 7.62. But it's some cool stuff. So this gun is actually really dang cool. So it hits like a dang truck, and it has a little bit more damage than all the other battle rifles, especially with that newer buff. Like again, it will not change any kind of shots in order to kill. So if I'm actually going to show this here, what's really cool, the incendiary rounds won't actually affect the dummies. So 1, 2, so 2 shots to the body, and it will also take 2 shots to the body and semi-auto. And full auto, 1, 2, 3, so 3 shots to kill. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 shots to kill for a normal person. You're letting this thing rip, it melts people pretty dang quickly. And it doesn't really have that bad of a recoil for how cool it is. So I want to go over this though. Since it has a 2-shot kill in semi-auto and 3-shot kill in full auto, has about the same hard-hitting power as the F-Tank Recon. All it lacks is the 1-shot headshot potential up close. But you can combine this with incendiary rounds, and it has now the fastest time to kill when it comes to anything over 100 health, with a large health pool, much like any kind of kill streak, like a VTOL, attack helicopter, or anything like that, and tanks in Warzone, or not in Warzone, but in a ground war and invasion and stuff like that. Anything of the sort, it's able to kill in less than a second. You have to land a pretty good amount of shots on. So obviously I have a build here set for more so killing off any kind of kill streaks, and I'll be going over this, but I'm also going to be doing another build in the second video here, or the second video kind of covering this gun. I'm going to be going over a way more aggressive build, more set for infantry kind of gameplay, more so for like 6v6, but again, it is still very effective against vehicles. But let's go ahead and get into it. Right off the bat, we want to get this gun as much damage potential as possible, so we're going to go with the incendiary rounds. It is the best when it comes to high damage against vehicles, even more so Then armor piercing. So armor piercing is good against vehicles. It does a pretty good amount of damage. It's not near as good as incendiary, but it's more so against or better for breaking through material. So technically the more anti-material rounds, more or less, but you can shoot through walls, or you have like bullet penetration, as you can see for the pros. So you can actually shoot through walls and deliver a little bit more damage through the wall for like higher caliber guns. Usually can lead to a one-shot headshot with a sniper rifle if you are shooting someone through the wall. So very weird circumstances where you can actually find a situation where it actually works out for you, but it is pretty cool. The incendiary rounds are obviously way more vehicle based. They will do incendiary damage, so there's a very small amount on to like actual infantry, but I think they have a bit of a clamp there, so I don't think it will outright kill someone. I'm not really sure if there's any actual way for it to actually burn and kill off infantry like you know, Dragon Breath rounds would for a shotgun. I think they clamped it, so it won't actually affect infantry, but it will affect vehicles. And it'll do an absolutely massive amount of burning, but it will delete any kind of bullet penetration. Like, you will not be able to shoot through walls at all. It just kind of splashes up against the wall and that's it. So it's more so like thermite tipped, I guess, which is kind of weird, but it is pretty dang cool though. So for this one though, for tuning, I go for bullet velocity, since it does lack in bullet velocity by quite a bit, and also damage range. You want to just buff all that. So we can reduce a little bit of the cons here. After that, you want to get yourself a 50 round magazine. This makes it to where you can dump in a bunch of rounds and be a little bit more forgiving for anything missed. So attack helicopters, not really AC-130s, those are too high up in the air, so you're not really able to shoot those down. They're just out of the skybox when it comes to actual effective shots coming off. UAVs will be melted near instantly, so that has like the smallest health pool. You're able to melt through those like it's nothing. And it's just overall really good gun. Again, this is supposed to be for anti-material, so you are wanting to be playing a little bit more passive with this gun. For the barrel, you want to put on the 22-inch Boardmaster barrel. It's the longest one you can get. It gives you bullet velocity, which you'll need for the actual incendiary rounds. These things travel really slow without anything helping them out. Damage range increase, recoil control, and hipfire accuracy. And you want to max that out for recoil steadiness and damage range, so you can increase that a bit. We're going to top that with also the Tempest GH50, and this will give you vertical recoil control, and that will just make it to where that doesn't rise incredibly fast, so you're able to stay on target as much as you possibly want. But again, all these flying vehicles are pretty dang large. It's kind of hard to miss with this thing when you're shooting at a target that big, but it's there. And that's pretty much all 4 attachments. You can run something else on there, like if you want to run an optic. Usually I'll run the Drexen Prime. It's actually probably one of the better like high zoom scopes for thermals. Nothing really blocks it. Like Cold Blooded does not work at all on there. It makes people a little bit dimmer, but the thing can see people just fine, and also makes it to where you're able to see vehicles at longer ranges a bit better. But if you don't want to run that, and you can see, you know, a massive vehicle coming your way, which normally, you know, they'll be moving at pretty high speeds towards you, you can always go for a different grip and just kind of go all out when it comes to recoil stabilization. You can switch to that and use the iron sights. You can melt people near instantly, or melt any kind of vehicles near instantly. So the gun is absolutely broken in this sense, and they've just gone ahead and buffed its effectiveness. So I'm not kidding, it actually beats out the anti-material weapons that are actually meant for this, like all the launchers. Everything except for the Javelin won't be able to kill anything larger than a UAV when it comes to launchers, or all in one go. All of them have way too little amount of rounds or amount of ammunition, and they don't do near enough damage to actually kill anything. So unfortunately, launchers are just pretty much useless. This thing, however, is the very broken, statistically anti-material rifle. And overall, this is pretty much the entire build you guys would want to be running. I will go over it. If I actually have some gameplay outside, I'll be grabbing after this. I'll be going over and show you guys how fast this thing really is. But until now, this is going to be the only gun build I'm going to be showing off right now. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.